Number 2, Pain Gaming versus Vici Gaming. I'm Grant. I'm joined by Kyle and BSJ. And we've got some, I don't want to say must wins, but we're almost getting to that point right now where we have, you know, Pain Gaming, who's lost a few games. They've won. At this point, you just don't want to be last place, right? You don't want to be out of the tournament.
That's not acceptable to anyone that shows up. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like upper versus lower bracket, it's a big deal, but a lot of these teams fighting for survival, like, you just want to get that chance to compete. Anything can happen in BO1s.
remaining.
Just last year, we saw DC. Well, it wasn't last year.
5
2 years
seconds
ago.
2 years ago, we saw DC go from BO1 elimination
Yep.
to
Grand Finals.
true.
That's pretty good.
They only lost to Wings, too. That's what's actually incredible about
Yep.
that team. They lost 2-1 in the upper bracket, beat everybody in the lower, and lost to Wings again 3-1.
It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is the money, right? The best of one decides, like, if you make it past the group stage, that best of one is like doubles
Yeah.
what you're making from the tournament. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the winner gets a lion's share of the tournament
Yeah.
proceeds, but there's a huge difference
Discrepancy.
between top 12,
yeah.
top 16, and most importantly, top 8.
Yeah, and for the upper bracket to lower bracket, the thing is, yes, like you said, it's very important, but if you lose the first round of the upper bracket and you win the best of one, you're in the same spot. So it's not all that crazy for these teams to make a run from the losers bracket, as you already mentioned. And both these teams are on the fence of not only are they vulnerable to potentially being last, but they're also still in that spot where if they were to like win out or go like 5-1, they
You're
could
upper
potentially make upper bracket. Because when you have teams like EG and VGJ who are 9-1, 11-1, or whatever it is, they make it so that slightly above 50% win will put you in the upper bracket,
And
guaranteeing you top 12.
going into this matchup, we haven't seen much of Vici play. I think
We saw one. We
one
tested
series.
one.
Yeah, but I don't even remember. I've watched so much Dota.
It was the Boots,
5 seconds
Wraith King, and
Oh
Kunkka.
God, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
LAN
So
end.
yeah, I forgot. Thank you for bringing that
You're
up.
welcome.
Ori has apparently been dominating the mid
Yeah,
lane
he
and
has.
just like putting his opponents. I'm trying to think of more, not in a dumpster necessarily, but like he's taking them to the dump, like loading them up in the truck and
Okay.
driving 30 minutes. So that's going to be necessary for them to win because the old veteran LAN M
10 seconds remaining.
refuses to start with any items other than boots. I was told that he
5
would.
seconds
He even did it on
remaining.
Rasta one time, and I can expect that whatever hero he's on, he's going to be trying to play this old school, run around the map,
He's
make
going to buy
plays,
Boots
check runes.
and Tangos.
Yes.
And eventually he's going to use the courier and get, like we saw last time, he got first blood and flew out like a wand and 2 mangoes as the courier usage.
That's a
And
big benefit to a
it's
Boots
kind
player.
of something that I just briefly mentioned that without even like subconscious, I didn't even think about it. Certain teams, the courier distribution is hilarious. The variety, like we talked about EG, that is Sumail's personal courier.
Yes.
But then these other teams, like you'll see it go to the side lanes almost exclusively. It's pretty crazy, like how that ties into the personalities and dynamics of each
seconds
individual
remaining.
team, and that it has a big effect on their laning strategy as well.
Yep. And of
5
course, Pain
seconds
comes
remaining.
in. They really do need wins. Very momentum-based team. I think it'd be very important for them to like get this win at the start of the day. They first picked Tiny, which I like. Not the greatest win rate at this tournament. I think it's in the 30s. But my concern is that they're most likely giving it to Weehaw.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a fan of picking this hero first overall if you're not willing to play it as at least 2 roles, preferably 3, because I think it's a very good 4 position as well.
I completely agree. He's a hero that you can heavily counter over the course of the draft, and if he's countered, that's when he's best as a 4, just because the hero kind of does the same thing if he's in a really rough core position as he is to a 4 position. And this is something that we talk. I think I heard that OG Jerax was spamming Monkey King 4 in pubs, and that was we discussed to enable them to pick Monkey King for Thompson.
Yep.
And then if it's a bad game, you
Yep.
just put it as a 4, and
And
that's
it's
really important.
It
as
is.
you mentioned.
Yeah, like just like the way that you explained that is how I think a lot of teams approach their core, like the cores that they like the most and want to take first too. Because if you're willing to just make it your 4 and it's not a major loss, like because there's some 4s that trying to think of something that was done in the past, like say a Necrophos. I don't think you can just switch that to a 4 position and feel confident in it, but maybe you could. And if you think the hero is strong enough that if it has a good matchup, it'll just win you games. Like, it's an effective way to play Dota.
Yeah.
Interesting. Pain bans Brood and Drow. I just don't.
Tiny's
know.
pretty good against Brood,
Tiny
isn't he?
crushes Brood. If you stun and then hit once and throw.
I will say those bans confuse me, but this Willow pick is really good. And then the response is Oracle, so you have tons of saves. Is this the AA game? You mentioned AA is coming out, or does Oracle just completely own it? But they have so much heal and save, so I'm coming. Like what I'm saying is, do you go for like that burst damage route, or do you go for the jump the supports with a hero like Storm Spirit route? Spectre comes to mind as well. These type of heroes that get on the back lines quite easily.
I think Spectre's like the go-to counter pick, especially going the Blade Mail Manta build we discussed all the time, because there's just no counterplay. You're ulting yourself or you're going to die immediately. It's a bit strange to combo that with a Wyvern, but again, like the Oracle Necro.
Hey!
Yeah, good call. Although I will say I think Oracle matches up relatively well against AA. It's an
Would you like to explain the ult interaction?
because the AA ult prevents healing, but the way Oracle ultimate functions is that while you're under the during the duration, you double the damage and healing that you're receiving, but those numbers, like the math doesn't calculate until the very end when it pops or restores you to full health. So if you time your ultimate 3 or 4 seconds-ish into the AA ult, then the lack of heal won't affect the outcomes, where you'll most likely have a full HP Necro, since he's getting like 74% bonus restoration when he pops his Ghost Shroud, in addition to the 100% increase from Oracle. And that stacks multiplicatively.
A multiply, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know about how they added up on healing restoration. But they go with the Wraith King, a hero that pretty good against these burst damage lineups, because you can, if you burst him once, he just comes right back. So he serves as a hero that enables the rest of his team by walking in front, kind of serving as a wall. And I hope he builds in a manner where he's not able to be ignored.
Yeah.
Like we saw the Blink Ags the other day, and they just walked right past the Wraith King.
Yeah,
and in this case, he needs to be able to be quite a nuisance in these fights.
Yeah.
And to your point, when you're playing it like AA, Willow, Tiny, right? They all have high burst damage, but then they're out.
Yeah.
Like they have no gas left. So if you force the enemies to kill off a Wraith King or Necrophos, honestly, you have so much save now that it's very easy to just sacrifice one player or one ultimate, and then all of a sudden Pain's got a complete lack of team fight. And that's something that they lacked in the games we watched from them yesterday. And I think it's very important that they draft something that allows them to do sustained damage throughout a fight. And I'm not really sure what they're looking for here. I could see I feel like it'd be a great Invoker game, but that was banned by Vici. That's actually crazy that they banned Invoker, because that would have been an insane pick.
I should have said it, dude. I was thinking
all tournament. You've been
I've been.
calling them
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Why is it such a good PL game?
The only hero it's bad against is the Necro, but because you can't like purge the Ghost Shroud anymore. But these heroes, Oracle and Wyvern, especially Wraith King, you need a hero that can non-committally poke them down and like force a fight to kind of become a skirmish, and then it enables the rest of your heroes to jump in at will and burst them down as they separate. Because right now Vici has this like, we're going to survive your initial burst and then turn the fight. So they need to be able to choose when they go for that burst on the side of Pain Gaming. And I think that's when PL is best played currently.
What word would you say? Because we've been trying to explain some words like reach and peel. What role would you give PL in a team fight against Vici? Because they don't have anything to do with illusions. So he is going to just sort of dive in to the middle.
But the thing is, he can't commit until, I think he's going to have to go Hood this game. And he's going to go Diffusal, Hood, Manta.
Yeah. Treads Hood, Diffusal. I like that build.
Yeah, or Hood, Diffusal, depending on it. Either route is. It just depends on what pace they want to take the game. Like either one's fine.
I think their laning phase is going to be so strong. Like he has plenty of damage, right? I think he can afford to go more defensive items at the very start, because all he's responsible for is keeping his supports alive.
Yeah.
And sort of buying information for Tiny. Like he's just gonna dive the front lines pretty much and let the rest of his team play around him.
He's more of a nuisance. I'd almost say his role in the fight is to be a nuisance.
Yeah.
He's not in the early to mid game, he's not their damage. He's like their
10
enabler in
seconds
terms
remaining.
of what I said about the like poking down and like sending
5
illusions at the
seconds
supports
remaining.
when he has diffusal, such that the supports can't position the way they want to. With these types of supports, the two options you have is to push them out of the fight with a hero like PL or Spectre, or straight up jump them with a hero like Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't think Storm Spirit or that type of hero fits this game, so you kind of have to.
They already
go the
have
other
so
route.
much burst damage. They need something that can do that. PL in my eyes is going to be your one here. You need something. I guess Weeha's hero is the two. You think it's just an Enigma game? 'Cause
They
it's a
already banned
really-
it.
Gaming's turn to
Lena.
Lena.
So the offlane Tiny.
Offlane Tiny.
Yeah, those are great bans though from Vici, because the two heroes I see fitting Payne's draft excellently are just both taken out in the second phase, and you wouldn't think that either one is really an answer to Necro Wyvern, but it's where their draft was going. Does that make it offlane Tiny? Thank goodness. 'Cause
I'm so confused. TA's still in the pool. No
10
hero she's bad
PL.
against is PL.
I think it's bad enough. I think Willow also is quite good
5
against TA.
seconds
You think so?
remaining.
Yeah, I mean, the root does, I think, 4 instances of damage per second, and the ultimate does 4 every second, so you burn the refraction very
I think
easily, and you
DK
have a
is
ton
their
of
best
burst.
choice. Okay, there you go, Pango.
Wow.
There you go,
Choose your
Pango.
hero.
They needed a stun, like an initiator, so I thought they'd go for the mid lane DK, but they like to make it a safe lane Wraith King.
Yep.
This mid matchup, so I would say Lena is favored against Necro, but I have been told that Ori is like on another level. Backstage, there's the commentators that watched a lot of their games were saying he was easily top 3 at this event in terms of one-on-one individual skill. It's like Sumail, no one, Ori, and that's some incredible company to be in. So
Yeah.
I would expect this mid lane to go 50-50.
Weeha's insanely skilled too, though.
He is, but we'll see. We'll see.
His cosmetic game's on
Yep.
point.
I've got
True.
a question. Is Lan M buying boots first on the Winter Wyvern?
Yes.
All right.
That's actually I
10
don't even know what
seconds
to say to that because that's I can't imagine. But if we didn't think he'd go boots
5
first on
seconds
Kunkka either,
remaining.
the idea behind this Lena pick is you needed a hero in the early game that offers just pushing waves. I know they have tiny PL, but these heroes need a few items before they innately push waves.
It's like you needed a hero that, for lack of a better term, was like a spellcaster. You needed a wizard in the mid lane,
Yeah.
just like we have Grandolph here on the desk. And it allows you to ignore, for the most part, the Necro and Wyvern save abilities of Ghost Shroud and Cold Embrace, and you just output tons of magical damage, and you're a great +1 for either your Tiny, your PL, or your Willow. So it just feels nice. And I always like, when you have AA, you need some source of magic damage like Alina, because the Vortex, and honestly, he uses the Chili Fingers quite well too. So it's just he abuses all of the plus damage that his teammates can give
I would
him.
love to see the Lena go like Yule's Hurricane Pike, BKB type build. I don't know if I really like the Shadowblade this game because
Well, there's no Shadowblade hero other than maybe the Tiny.
what I'm looking at is usually Lena has two options to either be the one that shows in lane all the time or the one that plays off map assassination type playstyle, and you have the Tiny to play off map. So I feel like Lena's job this game is to play on map, and they don't have reach to kill her. Like if you have a 4-staff on Lena, how do they kill you on VG?
That's a good point.
So like I'm just looking at usually this isn't something that is viable on Lena, but they can't kill you.
And that's the cool thing about Lena, is that as the game continues, you become that right-click damage.
Yeah.
And I think I love Hurricane Pike on Lena personally, and it turns you into a sniper once you hit level 25 with your
Yeah,
talent.
it's
Not quite a
insane.
sniper, but still, it's like 175 attack range is nuts. And
You are over
You-
1,000 range.
as you said, the Vici lineup has no real reach outside of the Wraith King, and this is a paparazzi Wraith King. This is not your typical 3. He's going to be hard farming. I would expect a Blink, an Armlet or Blade Mail, and possibly just a Radiance, because I mean this is paparazzi. He is one of the better farmers in the Chinese region, and I would not expect him to be playing an early style whatsoever.
I just want to see Lena get these like Hurricane Pike, like MKB Scotty or something. Like I'm talking items
that's,
where
that's ambitious.
I'm saying like as the game goes on, his whole purpose is I don't think he should rely on burst. I think he's nice to be a magical nuker in the mid game, but they don't win. Like they already have so much magic burst, and it's already conceptually countered by Vici's lineup.
Well, middle, we saw double wards actually getting putting down by both players right there. Now bottom, It looks like VG, they're just allowed to get a rune, right? I mean, he already used Bramble Maze, but they're going to try to fight anyways, and it will be Tavo who picks it up, but King RD in a ton of trouble right now. Now,
He's dead to a stun.
he's just going to die, get right-clicked. And another stun's going to come out onto the Tiny.
Zero armor hero.
And this is not looking good as well for Tavo, but 3 seconds left on a stun.
That's just not how you want to start off your day. Like, especially after with Bramble down, now another one wasted. Like, King RD, man, you gotta... Oof.
Radiant structures
Oh, the
are
fort.
fortified.
This is the Ori using it to secure the mid wave and then, or to secure the range creep mid, and then Weehaw forts the Death Pulse. So I love the fort usage in the mid lane. It's such a high skill thing that's obviously very new.
I mean, Ori still got both yet. Though.
Yeah, I'm saying that like both
The
players
idea of
doing both players doing what they need to do, but Ori making the like that little difference. It's such a big deal if you don't fort there on either side. If Ori doesn't fort, he doesn't get the range creep. If Weehaw doesn't fort, he 100% Ori 100% gets the range creep. And now Ori's got the level 2 and he can dive. Yep, because Lena's only level 1.
Told you. He hasn't skilled anything on Weehaw? What the? That is so strange to me. He's just, like, not using mana. I'd say, like, rule number 1 of playing any lane is to try and get your spells off.
Lands a stun, but the creeps are already going to be there for Ori.
Won't have to tank up the tower.
He's still doing quite well on the Necrophos, though. This is really not a matchup that I think he should be winning.
Yep. Tavo, they end up getting Paparazzi bottom. They just lay Bramble Maze, and
Oh, mid? He might be dead.
what's that? Is he? It's going to be Ori, and he's getting right-clicked down. Wow. There's the Dragon Slave, level 3, and wow. That is pretty simple there for Weehan. You see the triple tip coming out.
That was such a heads-up play by Wee. He willingly gave up 2 or 3 CS under tower and because he had 3 stacks of Fiery Soul, so he had the positioning to get his stun off.
So, Lina versus Necro time, and look at this, another stun from the uphill, just gonna throw out harass. And how does Lina deal with Necro once he gets these higher levels of just self-sustaining abilities?
You just have to kill him with 6.
Just kill with 6.
Yeah, Necro's best dealt with heroes that can get to level 6 and then kill him. I think heroes like Lesh, Lina, these type of things, you can't really ever harass him down, but if you're a hero that can threaten to kill him at 6, it just changes the way that that Necro plays the lane. Same with Pugna. That's why Pugna's considered a hard counter.
Tavo will barely get out of bottom, and then Paparazzi and land him as well. It's a very hectic bottom lane right now. So what's different between a middle Tiny and off lane Tiny? Is there anything like conceptually different? Do you go Blink, Shadow Blade, or?
I think they play the same way. You just get a little bit less if you're in the off lane in terms of levels and your snowballing start.
Yeah. I just think he's a better offlaner because all of the items he would buy are so cheap. And man, this is a huge rune. Weeha's going to pick up the double damage. That's very surprising that... I guess bottom lane, Oracle, rather Wyvern can't really make space in that direction. Possibly because he doesn't have boots.
Yeah, no
Let him
boots.
had boots, you'd get that bot rune.
Where's the consistency?
That double damage, you see just 1 stun, 2 hits. Pretty easy. And wow, Weeha is doing pretty good job. Well, not really, actually. He's getting destroyed CS-wise. He gets that kill, but I mean, Ori probably, I mean, you look at the net worth early, and, well, technically Weeha is winning.
Yeah, the DD certainly helps, but he was losing the lane up until this point, even with that kill. But now he'll win these 2 waves.
He's winning in levels, and Lina,
yeah.
like this year, she got nerfed, like way earlier this year, that her level 1 Q does not do nearly as much damage. And I've seen very few Linas get off to a CS advantage in the first couple of levels, so it should get easier and easier as he can always secure multiple creeps with 1 Dragon Slave.
Yep.
Top Lance flying out. It's going to be on 11 right now, but they're going to try to turn it around on PL, who is the 1-1-1 build, and just a lot of poking and prodding, it looks like, in this game. We have 3 kills already, but... So, what is HFN? You talk about HFN. Is he the farmer this game, or is he trying to enable, like, the Lina to farm? He's the one who needs to farm.
He just shoves lanes and runs at enemies. Lina, or rather Wee, is going to be the one playing around the PL's movements. But I think Lina is just going to shove waves and then try and stay off map. Same with the Tiny. PL's just constantly going to shove, and they have to play this way because the Pain supports don't really have any lane shove of their own. So it puts a lot of pressure on Lina and PL to both have good games and be constantly on map.
Yeah, I was going to say I personally hope Lina plays on map 90% of this game.
Yeah.
Now, bottom lane, Tavo in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness, the crit will secure Lan and the kill. Now, Dark Willow. Oh, he tries to fake out the Shadow Realm, but yeah. You got to give it a shot. You know he's not going to fall for it, but why not?
It's one of those, make them make a mistake. Make
Yeah.
them make the right play, too. If they mess up, you're going to kill them for it.
And it looks like actually Dyer might get 3 bounties. Nope, 11. We'll bounce on over and take the rune.
Precious bounty.
And they're going to leave the rune for Weeha, actually. That's a little bit of a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that once you see that the enemy
not
support
gonna
is going
go.
to the rune, yeah, it's just
You have a
too...
ward that sees them, too.
Simple as that. Now Weeha goes back middle, has level 6, so this is now you land a stun. Is it almost guaranteed a kill?
Indeed.
Well, it might be up here because Fenrir will go down. And the instant tip. I mean, we've talked about it before. We've talked about tipping in professional games. At TI, do you think it tilts people even a little more? The fact they're playing for so much, you know, the world championship, a little more money, or is it still the same? You just ignore it if you're the other team.
At this point, it's been a part of the game for so long, I feel like you just ignore it. Like, how many pubs have all these guys played scrims where it was constant? Like, at this point, it's just noise, much like the in-game music or last hitting sounds.
Do you think, like, in scrims, if they did it, you just stop scrimming them? You're like, if you're gonna taunt us like this, we're not gonna scrim you.
I mean, you can
Apparently
just
not.
mute them, right?
Yeah.
You see the tips, but at the same time, like, that is the clapback possibility where somebody tips you 2 or 3 times, then you beat them in the game or outplay them. Like, you just feel bad.
And look at this, another double damage rune for Wee middle.
Looking to make the kill happen.
Yep. Let's see. He has the boots up.
Ward, though. Radiant.
Well, we'll just get his level 7, but look at this. He just dominates the entire. Should get another deny here as well. And this is looking pretty good. Middle for Weeha now. He came back from that very early deficit in the CS charts.
Yeah, he actually made a good move there to cut off Ori to come back from the tower once he ran top river, but Ori actually TP'd, so he was going to just... Oh.
Tavo, those skeletons, look at, they don't one-shot. They're still chasing down, but the root will be enough, it looks like, to save Tavo. And barely gets out of there. He is almost level 5. He gets the bottle. So when do you get bottle on an offlaner? Like, is there just a certain moment you need mana, you know you're going to have bounty runes, or why do certain offlaners
It's a
get it?
reactionary purchase. You're just saying, you take like a heavy trade and you're looking at your gold. You're like, I have 500 gold. I'm going to nuke this creep wave and get a bottle. And a lot of times it's ideal to have it be slightly close to the 5-minute bounty rune mark, just so you can get the full charges and refill.
They're going for him. He's going to have to dodge the other route. He does it nicely, and he will get out of here now. Oracle going to go in. Tavo could be in a decent amount of trouble himself, but King RD doing such a good job of zoning the toss. Oh, what a play by the Oracle face. It will help save, and now King RD in a little bit of trouble himself. He's trying to run away, but he's going to get scouted out. Another stun flies, and you can only Shadow Realm disjoint so much.
It's a great play by Fenrir there. And then also, nice heads-up play by Lanham, recognizing as soon as he's alive that if he gets his spells off, they'll secure the kill on Willow. So, well done.
And man, Fate's Edict, quite the spell. I mean, you talk about it, but sometimes you just don't see it in action. Right there, he just avoids like 400 damage from it.
Yep, and
Arcane on Lina.
we've seen many games like this, but as always, Pain's big issue is going to be the support combo of Vici. And if they can take out the Oracle specifically, they'll have a very easy time closing out a fight. But otherwise, their AA and their Lina and their Tiny to an extent are going to have issues finishing kills.
And he know he TP'd to the shrine here. Which way will he walk up? He's going to go up the other way. He should be able to see him, but he's going to hit the stun. Here comes Laguna Blade. And guess what? That's an Arcane Rune Laguna Blade. It'll be back up in less than a minute.
Nice
That's
play.
just a, he knew they were harassing. He's like, I hope he TP'd to shrine.
And this is the style of Lina I appreciate the most. He's going phase boots early, maxing fervor instead of stun secondary. He gets the stun off on Ori as well.
He does, my bad miss. Lanham over here is going to go down himself, and it looks like Ori will run away, no Laguna. And now stun's going to fly out though on Tiny, and he's just going to get right-click down. It looks like by Paparazzi and the skeleton. Look at those skeletons getting the kill, and now they're going to go after King RD.
Oracle's rotating mid, but Lina's so fast with the 3 stacks and phase boots. And we were mentioning that she was down in CS early, but Lina's a hero that if you are not losing in levels by level 5, you just naturally pull ahead because of how her nukes scale. Top lane, diving 11.
He doesn't have a swashbuckle for 3, but he will get it up before he dies. Can he make the play with it? He tries, but he's going to get frozen in plays. No, but another Fate's Edict, he will get healed and gets out. And this Oracle putting in a lot of work early game for him. Also, Weeha has gotten every single rune right. 2 double damages and Arcane. He's done such a good job just dominating it. Middle lane, Weeha will go down, though.
He got slowed by the Wyvern into a Reaper's Scythe by Ori. He didn't get the kill with the Reapers, so he doesn't have the extra respawn time.
But he gets the kill.
Yeah, still bring him down.
Bottom, King RD, another Shadow Realm. That's got to be so annoying for Paparazzi. but you know it's going to happen. So it's kind of on you if you keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, HFN is having such an incredible game right now.
He is.
67
He's sitting up
CS.
top. It will be a stun. They do need to make sure they secure their own bounty run. It looks like Tavo will go up there and get it. Meanwhile, yeah, as you talked about, HFN, level almost 7.5. What's he flying out right now? It'll be a Ring of Health plus a Clarity.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
That's
going
the
Hood. Yeah, I like that style because he can just play so aggressively with it, and he's not really threatened by any damage dealing from Vici. And wow, it looks like Papa's going to queue up a Blink Dagger? That's surprising.
So why is it surprising?
That's like the off-lane Wraith King itemization, but at the same time, like this bottom lane, you're playing against the Tiny, one of the stronger anti-melee laners in game, and
Uh-oh.
maybe feel pressure.
Yeah, look at this. King RD is going in pretty deep. He doesn't have Shadow Realm. He's just going to die, and this is going to be a full rotation. Ori plus a canceled TP, but Tavo, he's just going to run away. And here comes an AA blast from downtown. Don't believe it's going to hit anyone. They're going to try to lock down Tavo, who will have some status resistance, so he might get out of here, and he's getting stunned up, though. He's going to try to run. Nice triple stun there. They're trying to chase him down, but he will get out, man. Status resistance pretty good. On the backside, though, they're going to look for the Wraith King. They can't even pop his ulti, though. King RD will make it so they can't come uphill in the tree. Not enough.
It's his status risk. He's got 1,500 health at 11 minutes.
Yeah. That is pretty nice. And a stick, right? So you just have, like, more guaranteed health.
Yeah. This is still great, though. I mean, up top, yeah, Pango's got a Javelin. He can help. He can harass and deal with the PL illusions, but you're fine with this if you're HFN. This is a free game for you.
Yep, and that's HFN. I mean, that's how a lot of Pain games go, right? Like, they roam around as 4. All of a sudden, HFN is 4 slotted at 30 minutes in. And you're like, well, we can't deal with this guy.
This is a great move as well. They're going to get this bottom tower for free on Pain.
Yep, sure looks like it. They don't get it denied. Nice stun by Tavo. They still haven't popped that Wraith King ulti, but it looks like they will. Here comes the A blast. Will it hit? It hits on 2 of them. Won't hit on the Wraith King, though, because he just came alive. Laguna's going to fly. He's going to get ulted up by Fenrir. And they're not committing too hard for this. They're going to go for a stun. The toss in Weeha. He's there. He actually completely whiffs, and oh no. King RD is going to get punished for the whiff, and now instead Weeha gets stunned up. Here comes 11 from the top side from the Shrine. Stun's going to miss from Weeha again. Weeha just gets run down. Tavo will help secure the kill on Fenrir, but now they're going to get 3 for 1 after some key missed stuns from Weeha.
I have been part of a team that made similar plays to that at times, and we made a rule at a certain point that tossing your teammate in was only allowed if you were sure it was a good idea.
I don't think they were sure that.
They weren't so sure in that position, but a little bit of a misposition from King RD, but Lanham just holding his ult. You saw him stop cancel it a couple times as they chase, waiting for the opportune moment, sees the toss in, they clump up too much, Wyvern ult gets 1, then they end up getting the 2 to follow because of just excellent play.
Yep. And you look at this net worth, like you said, HFN having a free game on PL Lena there, but the next 3, I mean, Tiny's having a little bit rougher one. You do have this Pango who actually can put out some DPS and come to fights like we just saw.
Yeah.
And then a Reaper Scythe, right, can just change the game.
I'm not sure, BSJ, does Pango deal with illusions effectively enough once you hit, like, a heart timing later on?
No.
No?
Does he deal with like this mid-game point of the game where he deals with your illusions, and so that's like a power spike for him. But as the game goes on, he has all of his damage numbers are flat. So eventually you outscale it. The one thing is if you have some way of bursting the PL because you have so much control with like the blink ulti from the Pangolier. But this game they don't really have like glaring amounts of damage to follow up.
Weeha's just going to get locked down a little bit in no man's land by himself. But look at this. They are going to find Fenrir. This could possibly be a kill. Fenrir is going to ulti himself and try to run, but he's just going to get rooted over and over trying to get out. He gets rooted again, but 11, if he can get this kill, he hops over the ledge. Nicely done. Fenrir does go down the backside after his ult goes. Javelin proc, not even needed. And a pretty good 2 for 1 from Vici Gaming.
So the name of this game is going to be, Wee has to play a bit crisper because if he continues to get picked off, he's going to fall off hard against all the strong kill potential of Vici Gaming. He's got to be far enough ahead that he can maintain his elusiveness, but PL of HFN, he's the key. If he can get to a point where his illusions just don't go down to the swashbuckle and a Q for Mori, like he can win fights single-handedly by just jumping on top of the supports and then creating chaos. And it's going to be important that he maintains this lead and grows on it. Probably like a 3 or 4K lead on the whole game will be necessary by maybe 25-30 minutes.
I'd love to see a Lincoln's on PL this game too. It's not an item I recommend very often. But
I wouldn't recommend. Don't listen to him.
No, that's the only way he ever dies is single target stuff, and they can actually burst him if they manage to get a Wyvern Scourge.
Lina again bottom. Oh my goodness. Is that Terrorize? It will hit 11.
I'm talking like 3rd or 4th item.
The thing is, you die to Pango. You die to Pango ult, and you die to a Wyvern ult. Like, I agree with you, but at the same time, that's 5,000 gold for one spell. Like, it's just, you can't afford to buy a Linken's in this game. You need all of your items to have real impact. Nice deny from Duster mid. And again, because of the changes in the previous patches, tower denies give absolutely 0 resources to the enemy team. So that's worth 2 or 3 hero kills.
I love that. Makes you commit more for that, right? And you have a core versus support, and the support ends up winning that duel.
Yep.
But so HFN, BSJ, you're this PL right now. You have to be feeling pretty good, right? When do you want to show up to fights? Like, soon, or do you just want to keep doing what you're doing?
You want to keep doing what you're doing, even through defusal, but if fights happen on your side of the map, or on your terms, meaning your team set up on a tower push, you're willing to show up for those.
Yeah.
You have this defusal timing where you say, I want to take 1 or 2 fights to help my team, but then I want to go back to farming my next item.
Bottom lane, 11 will get ultied up now. He's going to try to roll in. He will hit Tavo. He will hit King RD as well, but he might just roll out. No, he's coming back. He wants to hit King RD again. He does. Will he go for the swashbuckle? He will. Fender gets killed. Ori as well gets a solo kill, it looks like, on Weehaw middle. But HFN, I mean, he's got to win this game for Pain, it looks like, because he does get a tower top. But Weehaw got reapered 60 seconds.
I like his Shadowblade queued up on PL. He has Manta or Shadowblade as his 2 options. I think those... I think you're always going to go one or the other, and I don't even mind if he goes both, because the way the game's playing out where Lina has suddenly started to get shut down, Shadowblade's an incredibly good damage item on PL, and it also lets you be the guy that takes out the supports.
And to that point, I like that a lot more than a Linken's. It provides you that survivability, the elusiveness. It's much cheaper. It's more damage.
Yeah. And look at this. They are going to get the tower. There's going to be an AA blast. It will hit on 1. HFN has shown up to a fight now. He's looking for Ori, but guess what? You can't purge that. We are going to see a kill on 11. And, well, a 1-for-0 tower. I think Vici Gaming might be happy with that because they do make HFN come bottom, but was he going to come bottom anyways?
That's where you want to be on PL.
Okay.
The only time you stay top on PL is if the fights are never coming to you. So you kind of... PL has this period between 12, 15 minutes, sometimes a little bit later, as you've seen in this game, where he eventually wants to rotate to the opponent's safe lane and just constantly push the lane. And he doesn't push towers, but he just constantly pressures them. And notice how they already have the ward up in the Radiant jungle. And for PL, you just look for that opportune moment to TP. You're just like, oh, there's a fight, TPing.
Yeah, ideally, you want to be a Broom, where you just maintain position in the hard area of the map and just either farm or run at heroes at all times, especially once you pick up the defusal. So you don't want to TP if it's not completely necessary.
Oh, and look at that. Terrorized by King RD, I believe, saved Weehaw. He just died 3 times in a row and gets reapered again. He would have been dead so long. Tavo now instead is getting run down, and obviously you see the damage. Yeah, look at it. Dude, Lan M, by the way, is level 11, I want to bring up, with a Spirit Vessel phase boots. He is omega farmed on this Winter Wyvern. Like, he is single-handedly getting these kills. Why is...
He's almost as farmed as Lina.
I don't know.
He's owning.
How is he so... What the...
4-1-7. 4-1-7.
I guess they just abandoned top, right? He was just versus PL the whole time, splinter blasting.
I honestly don't even know how he got that.
Dude, that could be... I mean, you have a support that farm doing that much damage with Spirit Vessel. That's pretty nice. Middle lane, though, we do have a double damage from Lina. And Lan M, well, the fact that you're so farmed could be a problem because you're going to give Weehaw a lot of experience and gold. Bottom, 11 and HFN just going into each other. Blink Dagger by 11. Oh my goodness, is he going to get the kill on HFN? He's going to try to turn it. He does. Weehaw goes down, but wow, Pango solo killing HFN.
Is that supposed to happen?
At this point in the game, it can, but he would have to catch you off guard with a blink, which he did.
Oh, and 11, the first tip from Radiant to Dire after all those.
You'd be surprised at this point in the game. PL's still squishy until level 15. The 15 talent's a huge deal because not only does he have low strength gain, but they've also nerfed his base strength twice in the last 3 months.
Yeah, man. It feels like Vici Gaming is, it only says 1,000 gold, but it feels like they're so far ahead in this game, just pushing towers, knowing where to be on the map, and they even deny their middle tier 1, as Kyle said. Guess what, Dire? You get 0 gold for that.
these type of games are similar to yesterday where HFN was playing Spectre and he was the #1 net worth in the game. This net worth isn't online yet. He's the PL, but I can tell you from PL's perspective, he does not want to fight still. So their strongest hero is not fight ready, making their entire team's net worth like deceivingly high. Like it is not supposed to be that high in terms of the effectiveness.
Look at this middle lane. A-Blast is going to fly. That should deal the kill. Tori, no, he'll get ulted up by the Oracle. Now Tavo going to be the first to fall. Paparazzi doesn't have ulti, so he will just straight up die, but 11 still rolling around. HFN in so much trouble, goes down, and now they might try to chase King RD. Ori's there, ready to go. No Reaper's Scythe. Looks like he will just float on away.
Who says Pango is a bad hero? That was single-handedly 11 just turning that fight around. And you can see the effectiveness of Oracle versus all this magical burst damage, even the AA. Like, AA really doesn't counter Oracle if you play it a certain way, where you're always going to land the save even through the ultimate.
I think their biggest weakness that I've seen in Pain in the 2 series we've cast so far is that they put all their net worth on HFN, on a hero that's not supposed to exactly fight at this point in the game, and then they fight. I don't mind they distribute the net worth that way, but we saw it on Spectre yesterday, and we see it on PL this game. Right after I mentioned their strongest hero isn't ready to fight yet, they take a fight, and then he dies.
Yeah, it's also the positioning of where they're taking it. They're on their side of the river in the mid lane where there's not even a tower to protect. I would much rather them keep the PL in the bottom lane and then position around him, where you're then also given the option, if Vici come to you and they look prepared as 5 to contest, you teleport the PL to the top area of the map, and everyone else just gets out of dodge. Yeah. You might lose a support, but you're dragging Vici around the map. You're leading the tempo of the game until you decide it's time to go when your PL comes online. It's not as structured as that. They're just sort of following and looking to battle at all times just because Tiny has a blink dagger.
I would argue.
Going to be a big fight here bottom. It looks like Winter Wyvern will throw the ulti out. Weow will just get locked down, going to get stunned. It's going to be a Reaper Scythe. See you later, King RD. 70 Saints, 11 rolling on the backlines. They've killed almost everyone. Laguna wasted up on Fenrir, and it's a 3 for 0.
Dude, that's
Fiji just moving around.
That's an okay engagement if your PL's there, but he's top.
Yep.
And he's showing top.
He's showing top. That's the other thing we haven't stressed is that if you're showing, like we as spectators can always see the good plays because we have the entire map available, but
they see what we're seeing.
Exactly. So when you see the PL just farming top,
11,
no fear whatsoever.
Yep, and there's going to be TB, and now HFN might just get turned around on Paparazzi's here. Doesn't know which one's real yet. Will figure it out. Now PL in a little bit of trouble. Already used his hood. They're going to pop up the shrine. He's going to be fine. HFN trying to run away, but these illusions you see against Wraith King are very good. They're still going, though. HFN voids the swashbuckle a little bit, but now going to get locked down. Shield crash, going to try to jump out again. Can he somehow juke and jive his way out of this or get a kill? They know which one's real. They see the proc, and HFN goes down, and Fenrir, he won't take any damage. No mana.
Sloppy.
Yep.
First off, you fight bottom. Like you push bottom with 3 heroes, showing PL, so the opponent knows you're 3, so they collapse on you with 5. And then since PL TP top, they know he's alone after killing bottom. And then since he's on their side of the map alone, they know they can chase him forever.
What the hell? And now Duster just scanned the base to see that Oracle was running back and then shot an ultimate off towards it. And it will land, but
it won't
what is that? It's such a strange use. Scan is a very valuable tool. You don't want to use that, especially now that Roche has become an objective. It's 23 minutes. Both teams are more than capable of doing so if they get either a big window or a nice fight.
So what does Pain do now? I know the PL, I mean, he's falling behind. He's not even first in net worth anymore. We see the Necro moving forward. They can't really fight as 5? Do they just stay off map and split push? Or
you have to split push properly, though. You can't push bottom and top. You can't do it. Like, if they put PL top, they're either going to have to react to their entire team, or they're just going to end up getting pushed out of this lane anyways. And it looks like the VG's making the right move. They're running their heroes top. They're getting a Bottle or Canron on the Pangolier. And HFN, he's in danger zone. This is the worst place to be on the map as a carry player.
They have vision of him, too. But he does hop downhill. Smart. They both have wards right here, like exact same spot.
The thing is, it's like his whole team is playing bottom. And I feel like that's where your PL wants to be, is in the aggressive part of the map where even if he were to dive a Pango and die, it's going to be on the enemy corner. Not your own, whereas if he dies there, like, he's just giving away a free tier 2.
But
They are smoked up on the 2 supports of Pain. They get revealed by 11.
Oh, is that stun gonna go off in time? Don't need it because of Terrorize. Well, they're trying to bring him down. There's a double damage just sitting there, but they're gonna save it. Looks like
Roche?
great HFN.
That was a pretty sick move.
That's a flawless kill opportunity. And to your point, yeah, the supports are smoked, but the cores are still showing bottom. It lulls 11 into a false sense of security, and then timely DDD room might just give Pain a Roche opportunity. It's suddenly a 2K advantage instead of 5.
And not only that, but you could tell 11 was just looking bottom because he TP'd with 2 supports breaking smoke on him. He wasn't even looking at that. And that's what you mean. He's completely caught with his pants down, and that's the idea of this information game. That's the complete opposite of what they did, where PL's showing top and the enemy team can know to just kill you.
Yep.
They're showing 2 heroes bottom, so Vici thinks, like you said, they're bottom. And then you catch him off guard.
Oh, is he waiting to give it to Lena? Nope, he will take it.
Just inventory spot issues.
So he's got some farm. Use that DD. Yeah, nice gank into that quick Roshan. Look at this, just a 1K lead now. And HFN, he's getting close to that Manta. Is that when, you know, you start playing with your team a little bit more, or do you continue to just do what you're doing?
I think it's the same. This concept of like just being a broom. You just farm everything, and if there's heroes in the vicinity and your teammates are nearby, run at them too.
Okay.
But you're always farming something is the idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Until you're 6 slotted, or do you keep farming even after that?
I'd say until like heart.
You have to keep aggressively farming,
Yeah,
though. Like, you can't just hit your own neutrals or whatever. As long as you're getting stuff done while you're farming, then you just keep farming.
Yeah, you got to push waves because your AA Willow can't, so they're always going to be off map running around trying to find kills, and the Tiny would prefer to do that as well. He's going to have the Blink finished on Tavo to go, or sorry, the Shadowblade to go with his Blink, but lack of Echo Saber means he will be falling off relatively quickly.
Radiant's down on the Wraith King, so they want to make this timing
Wow,
happen.
he is. I cannot believe he has a Radiance at this time. He went Blink first. There's no farming tool, but this is scary for your...
I think Phil's going to possibly get caught here.
Oh, here we go. Ulti's going to fly out from 11. This is going to be a nice Glimmer Cape, but they will get him a little bit stunned up here twice. There comes the dust, but he will take it off, and now they're going to turn around to Lan M. 11 still just going in. Paparazzi in a lot of trouble. He does not have the talent yet. He will just go down here. No mana. Trying to chase. There it goes. Lan M and Paparazzi go down in this Radiance. Well, it's pretty useless if you're dead.
What an... Doesn't
Glimmer
each event
Cape.
have ages?
I believe so, yes.
What? What?
Did they?
What?
I mean, they just not been playing with HFN the whole game, right? Maybe they thought they could pull a quickie over on
They
Pain.
were so deep, though. Like
They were.
It took 11. He needed 2... he needed to ult on top and then Yule's on top, and they still didn't have time to close. Like, they didn't even have a Blink Wraith King stun prepared. Like, that was a very deep maneuver, and...
It did not pay off.
No, it did not.
Sick analysis.
So the Lincolns on... Do you guys like the Lincolns before Shadowblade on Lena? Why do you do it even if you don't like it?
I think he was a bit behind. They weren't able to make plays.
Yeah.
So let the Tiny handle that and go an item that allows you to always spam spells, which increases your farming speed exponentially.
I had the idea of Hurricane Pike, but it's the same concept. I think he's absolutely fine to go Lincolns if that's his personal choice. Like, the idea is that you just want to be on map, as we mentioned, and you just want to spam your spells. And I like that. I like that he ends up going Shadowblade because it still gives you that maneuverability and survivability aspect at this point in the game.
Yeah, but you can't go Pike or Shadowblade when you're behind because then you're like all in on the ability to make moves. You can't actually farm on map at all times. You need to regen.
The way he dies, like the initiation setup of Vici is all single target other than the Pangolier. So now whenever he sees Pangolier on the map, he can play much more aggressively on Lena.
Yep. And this is a good spot now if you're Pain. They've really fought their way back into this game, and it's just the way Dota works. You make one move, kill the Pangolier, take Roche, even game. Vici makes a mistake, now you're in the driver's seat. It's just, can Pain close this game out? And thus far in the tournament, they've had a lot of issues in this phase of Dota. 30 to 40 minutes, you've got your core items, but how do you make those big team maneuvers that give you that decisive foothold to take a win?
Yeah, you don't just want to push aggressively uphill, especially against Winter Wyvern.
Indeed.
That's a tough one. And Pango.
Yeah, and the Vici team fight is stronger than Pain's, to be certain. So they need to force these skirmishes, find pickoffs, and just play the map.
King RD, you gotta respect the effort. Tries to terrorize, maybe cancel Wraith King's ulti, but won't quite get it. Has a Blink Dagger now in Dark Willow. That is some good positioning.
Yeah. And I would point to Paparazzi's choice of items, where the blink to make moves into the Radiance, like he farmed a Radiance with nothing, like with no real raw damage buildup. So he's a couple thousand net worth behind what I feel like he would be had he gone for something that gave him a little more farming speed, notably like armlet, even a blade mail, just for the bonus damage.
And this Wraith King, he just wants levels now, right? He's like, I need level 20 or I'm
Yes.
absolutely useless.
That was what made that dive to the tier 2 Dire so strange.
Yeah,
like
he has no mana.
you're diving a PL with Aegis, and if you go out of mana, you're in trouble. Like
He was.
you see sometimes like Soul Ring on Wraith King for that purpose, to just like always be able to pop it before you go down when you're playing against these heavy mana burn heroes.
Yeah. What happened to Soul Ring anyways? Like, wasn't it picked up on every offlaner? I know it got nerfed a little, but still seems like it's pretty good, right?
The bottle change, runes being the bottle just being buffed, and bounty runes. Nice kill from Wade.
And he had that was his showing of Shadowblade. I know it's 30 minutes in, but still hiding that and getting a kill with your first thing. That's pretty nice.
I actually think it's a more valuable item as the game goes on, because cores run out of slots to carry dust without sacrificing something, and supports are no longer able to position offensively because they're at risk of going down. They are the targets at this phase, and they die in 2 to 3 seconds.
So Ori ends up, he had Ags queued up almost the entire time, but he ends up going for the Shivas.
Yeah.
You like that?
It's just anti-PL. They have Radiance, they have Shivas, they lower his damage, but they might be underestimating the amount that Lina and the 2 supports are going to pump out, because they still die very easily to the magical damage.
Look at this. You do see the Splinter Blast doing a ton of damage, but HFN plus Weehaw, they're just sieging it down. They bait out the glyph. And now they're going to throw out a root. Ori will get hit by it. And here we go. It is going to be an ulti, but nothing's going to be hitting him. They're just setting up for a Dark Willow kill, possibly, and they should be able to get it. Maybe not. The Spear Vessel there is going to terrorize it. Only hits the Wraith King, but that might be enough. No, Ori's ready to Reaper. Oh, but the Lincolns by Weehaw saves him. What a play. Still dies, but at least you didn't,
yeah, the gem got into a good enough position to pick up.
At least you didn't get Reapered as well.
That's a sick play from Wee. That actually just saved the gem, that move.
Top tower took a lot of damage, though, for Pain Gaming from the Wraith King skeletons.
It's pretty even
catapults.
trade.
Yeah. At least that's something that Wraith King can do nowadays. That having that split push pressure threat is a huge deal for any carry hero or any just hero in general. So that's why we're seeing so much Wraith King comparatively nowadays than before.
PL gonna go for he has Shadowblade Q, but I don't think he's gonna buy it. I'd say
he would have
Heart.
bought it, right?
I think Heart is okay, but it's a bit odd against Heartstopper. But I feel like if your illusions survive and then you are able to take long fights as Pain, which is possible, like you only really lose if you get out team fought.
Look at this. Weehaw could be in a little bit of trouble here. Is going to get perma-stunned by the Pango, it looks like. And yeah, Weehaw just going to die here. 80 seconds, does have buyback. And doesn't look like Vici wants to push high ground now.
Yeah, you need a BKB on Lina. They just finished the Heart on PL, and he is in that nice position, 3,000 ahead of the entire enemy team.
Yep.
But it's still tough because a good Wyvern ulti, a good Pango, like they still have the team fight advantage. I just feel like the fights are easier for Pain to play if they have information. You need PL or Willow to dive in, identify the supports, and prevent them from just sitting back. Oh, I mean, Blink Aether is a tough to contest with when a Wyvern has those items. Like you can play so far back, and you're afraid at all times.
Well, he has the gem now, and he's just looking around. He's like, any wards anywhere. And Dire has 1 ward near the tier 1 top, and that's about it. It looks like Vici Gaming gonna try to just take control of this map right now and possibly get this tier 2.
I'm personally not a huge fan of the hard purchase on PL, but
what would you have gone instead if you had to?
I feel like either a damage item or an elusive item, but I feel like you're more survivable being elusive than you are tanky, but just against like heroes like Necro. But it's one of those things where if he wants to enable his team and he thinks that's the best way to do it, I see his reasoning. I think a lot of items on heroes like PL at this stage in the game are hugely based on that player's playstyle preference.
Yep. I think just because he has a tiny Lina that are trying to play around him, that he needs to play as a frontliner. It would be nice to go like the Shadowblade, maybe a Basher, Nullifier, but at the same time, like, who then is left to make space in a fight if everyone's trying to be elusive? Yeah, I need someone willing to just get his hands dirty.
Yeah, I'm saying like I don't feel like PL can be that hero against the Radiant lineup, but that's what we're here to find out, right? We're going to see how fights play out, and if he manages to survive the burst just once, this heart will pay off. So that's a big deal. If he forces VG to use even just a couple stuns on him, then, or just like forces Oracle to ulti, and he loses half his health and then backs out, that's like enough use of the heart to make a justification for the purchase.
Man, I was just looking at Duster's items. This might be the most farmed he's been in a long time in a game. 4-staff, Glimmer, Wand, and Arcane Boots. There's looking to be maybe a fight, but I think Pain's just trying to get out of here now. Can they? It's going to be a nice route, just zoning everybody out, but Ori blinks forward. They want to get this Tiny so bad. He's just running away. Will it be enough? No, Glimmer Cape will save him again, and now instead they're going to try to turn on the Winter Wyvern to Terrorize. Going to come out. It only hits onto one. Tavo's dead, and 11 just rolling on everyone. He has that Aeon Disc as well if needed. And it looks like on the backside, HFN taking a ton of damage. Do they know the real one? It sure looks like he's trying to kill NM. No, HFN just goes down. Now Paparazzi has a blink up. He's going to go for it. King RD, you might be in a little bit of trouble here. There's a first hit crit. Easy kill. That's the gem. And Duster, you're looking like you're in a lot of trouble yourself, my friend. He's going to 4-step over, but double blinks by Ori and 11. And what a team fight from Vici Gaming.
It's just a little, as soon as Tiny dies there, you really got to get out if you're paying. Like, Tavo didn't get a spell off aggressively. They missed the toss back, which they were going for to start the fight. As soon as that occurs, I feel like you need to peel immediately, sacrifice King RD if necessary, but they overcommit with HFN, and where was the rest of his team? Like, Weah doesn't have a BKB. He can't commit like that to an engagement, and they end up losing 4. Even though there was a great glimmer from Duster, it's not enough. Ori does way too much damage just with his presence, and of course the Reaper to finish.
Yep. And he's going to have an Aghanims whenever he wants. It looks like he's saving buyback for now because he has 3 components on the chicken. And that's going to be a little scary. It is 40 cents now, right? BSJ at level 18 with the Aghanims Reaper. It used to be 25, and it's a good thing that got changed because that was nuts, being able to, you know, keep 2 people dead for 4 minutes at that level of the game.
I guess to better explain what I was talking about with the Peel Heart is the value of an item like Heart is when you can take a lot of damage, disengage, and then re-engage against heroes like Tinker, you buy the Heart. But Peel can't disengage this game, ever.
There's, what, 3-4 blinks on Vici?
Yeah, they have like all this chase potential. Wow. They have Pangolier.
Oh my goodness. Instead, they're going to find Tavo. Wow. What a smoke out of the Roshan. They were to use Terrorize as well. Vici Gaming just completely styling.
And I love what Paparazzi did. Like, you don't ever see Wraith Kings by BKB, but he just went for the items his team needed. Yeah. Blink, Radiance, BKB. All of a sudden,
get in there.
PL can't kill him. Like, the entire draft of Pain cannot deal with Wraith King, and as long as he gets his BKB off, like, he has full 10 seconds, then he's going to respawn. Like, you guarantee you're going to be a presence in a team fight for at least 20 seconds.
Doesn't get the steal. Yeah, like you said, he just blinked in right, and he dodged the Terrorize that last fight, and you just have a Wraith playing with Radiance, right-clicking anyone. Can't do anything.
This PL hero, they've itemized, like you said, against PL with all of their items, and when he's not really far ahead in games like this, this hero does not solo carry.
Yeah, especially, as you said, when he goes to the 2 defensive items, the Heart and the Hood, his damage output is just, it's not there. And Lina, as well, he needs to buy a BKB, I think, before he can actually commit to fights. He does finish it, but when you have Lincoln's and BKB, that's a lot of gold invested in defensive capabilities. He needs that Daedalus to really be able to pump out the right clicks, and until then, they're just tickling the heroes of Vici Gaming. And they're built around tankability. They have 2 defensive supports, a Wraith King, a Necro that bought purely defensive items, and then a Pangolier who did the same.
The sustain on Vici for long fights is insane, and PL is a hero that relies on long fights because he never bursts you, no matter what point in the game he is, even if he has damage items. So if you're playing a hero like PL, you have to win the long fights, and VG has itemized, and the heroes they have win long fights now. So it's going to be really rough. If Pain can manage to capitalize on VG, maybe being a little bit overzealous, manage to wrap around the supports on the high ground push.
So they're not ready for this. They're walking up to the tier 3. They're going to be able to set up.
See you later, skeletons.
Skeletons.
They'll go farm instead. Yeah, see you later.
That's like these skeletons embody the pub teammates in a nutshell. High ground, no. Ancients, yes.
There's going to nuke down this wave. HFN here, land spamming a decent amount of damage done to the tower already, and they're not leaving yet. They're not backing down. Ori, very farmed, has the Aegis cheese and a blade mill. Most of them just chilling in his backpack right now.
I think if you're Vici, you're going to commit. They have Aegis, they have Cheese. Like, that was what made that last fight so huge. It gives you the critical advantage for the next fight, and this one's going to be dangerously close to the Pain base, probably inside of it. I like 11 cutting mid-wave, though. You need to just make sure you don't let that go all the way back.
These guys have just been running around for like a minute now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How long do those last? Indefinitely?
80 seconds, I think.
Yeah. It's weird it doesn't have the
90
spawn
seconds.
timer.
90 seconds.
Are they going to get this kill on the little dragon is the question. No, doesn't look like it. And they're just going to go back into the base.
This is how you play the corral game. You force them all to base, then you get other lanes out because you're in no rush, then they leave, then you go back to base again.
Oh, and look at this. Oh, Ori thought about going in, possibly just getting a quick Reaper on King RD, won't. And they just, as you said, continue to hit this tower and poke it down. Pain isn't farming anywhere. Meanwhile, you know, you've got the Pango just pushing out middle as well. It looks like that tier 3 will go down. Paparazzi breaks the Lincolns on Weeha in this tier 3. Will it die? It does. Paparazzi gets saved even. Here we go. 11 on the backside. He's just going to try to perma-stun this. Lina can't even get BKB off because of it. Another stun from Paparazzi will get tossed in the air. BKB popped by Weeha this time. And they're going to try to nuke down. Fenrir goes down. Ori will lose Aegis. Has a cheese and a blade. And puts the cheese up. 11 procs that Aeon disc. They're looking though. PL on the backside will be able to jump back into base. Ori, they're all just stuck there together. HFN, Manta's on out. A nice stun coming out from King RD. It locks down the Necro. He goes down. He used cheese and Aegis. 11 will kill Duster, but Pain might be okay with this. And Paparazzi, he can't blink. His ulti is on cooldown as well. Can they bring down everyone? Nice hop uphill. Paparazzi's dead. This might be a kill on the Pango as well. He jumps away and will be okay, but Fenrir, I believe this will be a dieback if he goes down. It's not looking good for him. Oh, he steals the bounty rune though.
Get another one.
No. Oh,
Ooh.
he jukes left. He wants to survive, but King RD says, I don't think so. And HFN just gonna run at him. Defusal, the tree throw won't get it. King RD does, and well, Pain, they win a big team fight there.
That fight was all the Oracle dying. Oracle died at the start of the fight. I didn't actually catch how he went down. PL found it.
jumped him in the
And
back.
that is why you buy the Shadow
Oh,
Blade.
Wow.
My bad, I missed that one. Weeha just solo kills 11, who was going for bounty runes.
1,400 gold.
Yep. You can see they had no effect on the Vici heroes because the Oracle spam dispelling the Cold Feet and the you can even dispel Yules if you precast it. Same with the Willow. And instead, he goes down. Now the Necro is all of a sudden isolated in base. They tried to get the Reaper off on the Lina, but as soon as he gets BKB off, that's not possible.
Yep.
And in the span of that, Necro just goes down twice because there's no Oracle behind him. And then the dieback, he knows he has ult up, so he has to come back to the fight, but they're so far, the danger of fighting inside the enemy base.
Oracle hesitated really long on the buyback, and I think he should have instantly done it
Yeah,
because
I
that's
agree.
like how important he is to the fights. Like, even if you don't make it back in time, it's not even worth potentially risking not making it back because your Necro's effectiveness, as you said,
Yeah,
is
you either
not
do it
even close.
immediately
Yeah.
or not at all.
Yeah. So a little bit of hesitation coming out there. They do get the tier 3 for the side of Pain, which opens up the shrines. Roche is
look at
respawning in about 3 to 6 minutes.
Look at that teamwork. Weeha was already there at the top shrine, just killed it immediately.
That's something we saw the teams on the top of their groups do very effectively, where it felt like they would take these team fights, and then specifically VGJ Storm, they were buying back like as they died, like almost like it was hotkey. And I think that that's very important if you're going to try and siege base. You talk about, okay, who is able to die, and are we willing to sacrifice to get these critical objectives? And now you're in a bit of a tough spot because Weeha, he's going to be finishing up the Daedalus anytime. PL's getting 6 slotted, and you have issues now. Lina 25 as well, like he becomes a turret of damage. You get the bonuses, like all of your abilities increase your damage, or rather your talent.
So, it does look like Pain continues to take the lead. Looks like they did mess up a ward in their own base, so that's
That was
rough one. You just
intentional.
try, you think?
No.
Okay.
Fuel for my fire.
So where, I guess that's on me. Where are these gems at? Does Radiant does have a gem on Winter Wyvern. It looks like both teams still gemmed up, but how do you what do you do outside your base if you're Vici Gaming? Like, do you just move as 5, or what are you trying to do here?
It's a tough spot. I think you got to play around third Roche. I feel like as long as if you're not the ones aggressing and you can protect your supports, you're always going to be at a good spot. It's very difficult for Pain to ever force a team fight because it would allow the Oracle and Wyvern to take far too advantageous positioning.
Yeah.
And if you're Vici, I think you can just kind of sit on your hands, force a fight around Roche, where your Wyvern can abuse the high ground areas to just always be in position to get saves and key ults off.
Oh, look at this. They're going aggressively into the base. They place a ward down. They will know Weeha's here. Oh, they break the Lincoln, so he's just going to pop BKB. He's going to try to go back in. HFN around the backside. He's going to find Fenrir. And look at this. HFN knows exactly who to aim. He's going to go after Ori now, who's BKB'd up. We're going to see it terrorize. It won't hit on anyone. Fortunately, 11, though, just rolling around.
The
he
damage
hits a lot
from
of people,
Weeha.
but Weeha crit 733 to get the kill. Reaper's Scythe will be there. HFN dies, but he instantly buys back. Can he keep being? He sure will to the shrine. Tiny, though, going to get killed by his own team. Nice job, LandM. King RD blinks forward. Who will he find? Looks like they're going to find 11, which would be a pretty nice kill. We do see 11 get uphill, though, and they're just going to kill Fenrir instead. And now King RD, he's like, oh.
Does Paparazzi have a buyback right now? Doesn't
He does not. We can see if he's close with gold. He is nowhere near it.
see, what did he buy before that fight started?
Mjolnir, I believe.
Oh boy.
He's got damage, but damage doesn't help when you're dead, Tom.
Yeah, and this is the strength of Lina once you hit this late game timing. You can see he's top net worth, and he does by far the most damage in this game. He was uncontested because Paparazzi had gone too deep, died to the stun before getting his BKB off, and then he BKBs, but it doesn't matter because he can't stun Weeha. He has Lincolns up, and he literally just dies to the right clicks of the Lina. And in the meantime, PL, HFN doing exactly what we were discussing. He's diving into the backlines of Vici, forcing them to turn away and just ditch Paparazzi entirely.
All right, BSJ, he went the critical strike instead of the doppelganger in a game. Don't you want the, like, you want to be able to move around the map quicker? Why do you go critical strike this game on PL?
I think he realizes they need to kill targets quickly, not just like he doesn't have the luxury of winning super long fights, as I mentioned earlier, and that's just the adjustment you have to make. If you win long fights, you take the doppelganger. If you don't win long fights, you take the critical strike. And notice how that fight went their way, and it was
a lot of crits.
Relatively short in terms of if you look at the Radiant lineup, how long fights could take.
The Wyvern ult was just sort of a gimme pot shot that got them that exit kill, but the Oracle didn't even get an effective ultimate off. So like that. Those are the sort of fights you want, where you're allowed to just deal damage for that 5-second window, you find kills, and you immediately force Vici to retreat.
And look at this Vici gaming, another pretty aggressive smoke here. But on the other side, it's Pain doing about the same thing, and oh my goodness, they just barely avoid each other right now. And uh-oh, they know someone's there, they blink out, and everyone is within range of each other. They're going to blink forward. Ori very aggressive, not even 25 yet. They get the stun up, but Andis is going to get propped on King RD. We are going to see Root go down, not hitting anyone quite yet. Paparazzi though on the backline. Fenrir actually gets feared. He won't be able to ulti anyone right now. We do see Wraith King go down. Ori casts that. King RD won't die. Fenrir is dead on the backside. Weeha doing a good job, doing so much damage. Ori's just going to get blown up by Weeha. 822 crit. Oh my goodness, and Weeha is a monster right now.
Dude, that was perfect play. HFN found the Wyvern, immediately went on and forces the Cold Embrace. In the meantime, Weeha just finds the Oracle, kills him by himself. All of a sudden, the cores are fodder. There's nothing they can do anymore. And Paparazzi died at the start of the fight too. Popped his ult and got the blink off before he could take damage. But still, I feel like Pain's in a position. You can't kill these cores. And they do way too much damage.
It looked like Vici game was trying to kill King RD, but that Aeon disc, and then he just gets the ulti off, so Oracle can't do anything for his team. It's a dead hero right now, feels like. Now, a lot of buybacks coming. We've already seen the tier 3 dead. And look at Weeha's like, sure, I'll just hit this Rax while middle tower goes down.
PL was forced to TP top.
I don't know if
he had to do that.
I don't know if I like this decision, but it also demonstrates the respect they have for Wyvern right now.
Yeah.
You're always afraid of catching ulti because anyone near the leaner PL will potentially.
Oh, no, they're going back in, actually. It's going to be a terrorize. It will hit only on the right team, but LandM will go down. Another good fight by Weeha as well as King RD. And look at this. The damage is insane. Will he get the stun off? Will he time it? Oh, BKB's popped by both. But look at that, still chugging. He's just running uphill. He knows he does not care. Will he get a crit? He gets one, gets two. And I believe this game might just be in the book. There is no buyback on anyone currently on the Radiant side, and Weeha, he can end this game, right?
Yeah, he outranges the towers.
He's a turret, as you said. And GG gets called. Weeha with his, I think King RD as well with his terrorizes. So well played by all of them. It was a very back and forth game though, honestly.
I think a lot of this comes down to item choice in some ways. I feel like all the cores of Vici sort of went for this hybrid of survivability, but none of them really went all in on their scaling.
Yeah.
And it just Lina level 25. If you can get to that point where you're 6 slotted and you have the space within a fight to just auto attack, you are a turret of damage. I cannot think of a better term. And
I liked it.
that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like,
BSJ, this PL, you've wanted to see a PL for so many times, and this looked like a pretty damn good PL game. What made it that way?
The irony of this game was it was the first time that all tournament that I felt it was a good PL game, and I didn't say anything because I've never been right about them picking PL.
But now you are.
And now this time, you know, you're just going to have to take my word for it. The idea of PL, like I said, is the not committing part of the hero. You can just disruption, and then once you get these tanky items that allow you to eventually be that you're now in their face nuisance rather than throwing illusions at them. And Kyle mentioned it. He enabled them to win that fight. Even though he got Reapers, he immediately bought back, and Lina was able to just wail on people because of the way HFN played fights. The problem I had with this game overall is I feel like if either of these two teams played that way against EG, they just lose. I'm just mentioning EG because they're top of the groups. I feel like both teams made a lot of good plays. Like, they did a lot of things right. The itemization as a whole ended up being correct, but there were a lot of sloppy mistakes where the way I see these best teams play is they think to themselves, how do we lose the lead we have? And both teams did it several times.
Sloppy, I think, is the right word, because there were mistakes made that would have been punished much harder by the top teams here. And I think that there's the same 5 or 6 teams we were discussing yesterday would have won this game with either draft. Like, they would have been able to take the leads that the teams in this game were not willing or able to do so. And I feel like they both of these teams would need to make great strides if they want to crack into like the upper echelons, because there's just too many mistakes. We saw careless team fights, dives, like both teams overextending. Pain, the bottom area when they went for the tier 2 as PL showing top, and then Vici diving a PL with Aegis and a Wraith King with no level 20.
It just looked really
losing
weird.
3. Like, both teams just like giving away advantage. And I've watched a lot of EP play over the last couple of months, same with Liquid, and the two things these teams have in common is that they're never going to give you
anything for free.
Exactly. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch, and they abide by that. You can't make these errors.
Yep, and I believe we have some highlights. I believe we are going to take a quick break really quick, and when we get back, it will be game 2, Vici versus Pain. Pain gets a much-needed win in this group, so stick around a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pain Gaming versus Vici Gaming. A 1-0 lead currently for the South Americans. Vici Gaming really needing this win just to, you know, still have a chance at the upper bracket, but make sure you don't fall too low where you could possibly be out of the tournament tomorrow. And I'm joined by Kyle and BSJ. We just saw a pretty back-and-forth game where HFN kind of got his way most of the game, and it ended up playing out well for him.
Yeah, indeed. And there's a lot of implications on this next game, too. I believe that puts Pain at 4-5,
yes,
and Vici at 4-7. So this Group B situation, I don't think any team has fewer than 4 wins, which means you could probably make it to upper bracket or be completely eliminated from the tournament based on your results, possibly in this series. So I would say it's a must-win game for both sides.
Yeah, and it looks like Optic did beat Serenity in game number 1, so that moves on. So Pain and Optic, that's a big, you know, you rub your hand on your forehead, you wipe some sweat away. You know you're not even tied for that last place spot anymore. And Pain, meanwhile, look at that. As you said, they're only about 1 win out of that upper bracket, and this Group B has been just so back and forth and close.
They actually move into the upper bracket were they to win this game.
That's crazy.
They still have VP left to play today, I
It's a
believe.
tough one.
So, yeah, a bit rough, but I have faith.
I think Optic's quite likely to make upper bracket, honestly. Even though they're 4-5 right now,
Yeah,
they've already played against VP, VGJ, and Newbie.
They 2-0'd Newbie.
So I'm just looking at, they have a pretty easy lineup compared to the overall group that they're playing against left to play. And since what you said, they're all pretty balanced. There's no 0-12 team.
Yeah.
You know, and that means that it takes a lot less to get into the upper bracket. But that also means the teams with 4 wins, as you mentioned, are potentially on the verge of being eliminated. If VG Gaming loses the game, they go to 4-8. And Serenity's 3-7, right? Or 3-6, we saw?
Yes.
Yeah, 3-6. So if they win 1 out of 3 games on Serenity, they're now tied for Vici Gaming will be tied for last place.
Which is nuts.
And
Thanks for that insightful information, BSJ.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a spot where nothing to hold back now. You have to break out your premier strategies. They clearly think Necro is their go-to hero. They picked it first round last game. They're picking it first round again.
He's come back, just the hero, right? EG's first pick in now. I believe Secret's first pick in, right? It fell off for a month, and now it's back to where you were at the qualifier, where he's first pick, first man.
Yeah.
It just makes sense, though. It's just he does so much damage. Yeah. Just every spell.
It's all free damage.
All 5 of your spells, because they added his old E to his Q, where now you just get regen when you kill stuff.
Yeah.
And you have Death Pulse. The Heartstopper also just does way too much damage. You have a 40 damage talent at level 10, and I stand by any hero that has damage talent at level 10 is most likely going to be good. And IO Gyro from Pain Gaming, but they pick it into a Bane.
Yeah, they preemptively picked that Bane. I was going to comment on that. Bane being one of the traditional hard counters in the mid to late game on Gyro, you just enfeeble him, and that eliminates a lot of his damage output. Overall, though, whenever I see these Wisp lineups, I like to see one core that kills the Wisp or maneuvers around the map, not afraid of just getting relocated on. So you have this Necro hero who's going to play up in their face, aggressive, and constantly being on the dangerous part of the map. Now you need to pick a hero that can allow Vici Gaming to play behind the Necro so that they don't have to play behind 2 heroes against Wisp. And so anything that's mobile that fits that build, they have absolute last pick. It's most likely coming in that pick, because when you pick these mobile heroes, all of them have different versions of survivability, and it's catered to whatever the enemy team lacks. So we'll heroes like Queen of Pain, Ember, these type of heroes is what I'm getting at.
I don't know if I agree with that reasoning. I think that IO Gyro, you need to focus on damage reduction, and your mid hero is most likely going to be the Necro. Paparazzi, I'd rather just play some traditional carry that relies on more innate survivability, like Lifestealer as an example, versus something that relies on mobility. I think for 11, an Underlord looks like a great pick here. Just, again, when you reduce the damage of the Gyro, it's IO Gyro. It's the whole strat. And if you just itemize and pick to reduce the amount of damage he's going to do to you in a flak, your late game is not going to be an issue until
5
Rapier.
seconds
So you'd rather approach it with damage mitigation rather than bursting the Wisp. With Wisp Gyro, or just do you think that's the better way to play against Wisp currently?
I think once you have Necro Bane, you're not really going to be able to rely too much on aggro. Like, I'd rather you just play a more positioning-based game and just shove down lanes. I think Death Ball and the ability to 5-man is one of the premier ways to play against Wisp. And then you have Bane at all times able to sort of hunt around the map if they try and play this 2-3 split that a lot of Wisp lineups love to utilize.
That's fair. That's a completely different way to look at it, and I never really thought about it that way.
That's why Dota's so great, right? They could both be right?
Yeah.
Like, you could win a game both ways. God bless Dota,
Yeah.
all of it.
I think Weaver is a great pick for Vici.
Already
Either-
banned.
Good point. Was that banned in the opener? Wow,
Yeah.
it was. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to talk about these opening
I'm just-
bans.
Yeah, I would never expect that.
Just a
but,
Weaver, but we've been
Weaver's
seeing it
meta.
first pick,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. The other ones, I mean, King RD finally getting the respect. I mean, his
10
Willow
seconds
has
remaining.
pretty much been winning games, you know, in laning phase, late game as well. And then on the other side,
5
Silencer
seconds
getting
remaining.
the first
VG
ban as well. We've been
Gaming's
seeing
turn to
Vici's
pick.
been playing it. VGJ Thunder's been playing it. It's, as you said, press one button. You could just win a game by pressing that button.
And Willow is it's a hero you got to keep away from a team like Pain, I think. If they beat you, it's going to be because they're outplaying you in the minutia of the Dota.
Yeah.
Willow, another one of those heroes with 5 abilities.
All 5 good as well.
10
Exactly.
seconds remaining.
You can just get outplayed. Like, oh, I tried to kill the Willow, but he went into
5
Shadow
seconds
Realm, and
remaining.
then we had nothing to deal with him, and he cast his 2 ultimates, and we lost.
Ooh.
I like the Shaker. I think that's a great anti-Wisp hero. You just stun on top of the relocate. Good synergy with the Necrophos. Just defensive support with the ability to get aggressive as the mid-game shows up and really just kill the Wisp.
It's a pretty powerful dual lane, too. Usually Earthshaker, you don't look at him and say he offers a lot to the laning stage, but
10
Earthshaker
seconds
Necro
remaining.
is quite a powerful off lane in terms of Earthshaker protects
5
the Necro if he
seconds
tries to
remaining.
go on. If they try to commit to him, the Necro can capitalize on the fissure blocks aggressively as well. And then if the lane starts further back, you can actually double up the first wave and dive. It's something I've seen multiple times across pubs in NA, and those are recently have been
Very
two
good
very
pubs.
good players, so
Yeah.
it's something you'd see likely at TI at least once. And so not saying Necro is 100% going to be in the offlane, but
Necro's not going to be in the offlane.
you think so?
No, it's
You
gonna be
still
Orisa.
think it's going to be
I,
Oregon?
I
it's gonna
think
be
it's going to be
Orisa.
offlane, but we'll see.
11 doesn't really play Necro.
VG
I don't
Is,
want
there,
to. I
is
don't
there a
think-
player in the world that doesn't play Necro?
Yes.
I mean, even I play it, and I don't.
I just feel like Necro's one of those
This-
heroes
this-
that everyone plays.
This is an incredible Clinks game already. It
It's
fills
banned.
the same role.
No, I'm just
Clinks is
kidding.
not banned.
Yeah,
Weaver's
I was
banned.
testing it. I, wanted to see, I saw your eyes go up and down.
I
know.
checked that time. Weaver is the good pick because it hunts the Wisp minus armor, and it's very good against Gyrocopter. Like, you hunt the supports,
10
and Gyro doesn't really threaten you.
remaining.
Clink's the same thing, and it's great synergy
There
with
you go.
Shaker. There you go. It's so good here. You don't have the lockdown from either support, and you just crush them. And you want this hero, like, with Shaker. It's the same concept as, like, a Pugna, where you just do a lot of burst damage initially. The Fisher's enough to land a kill, and it's perfect, and that is a paparazzi hero that I love to
VG
watch as well.
Gaming's turn to bat.
Oh, you talked about fourth pick Invoker last game, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it as much this game as last game?
I do not. It's nice. Okay, here's the thing. It goes both ways. It's one of those. It's hard to say. I expect this to be. If there was a game for Quaswex, I think it's this one because when you can purge the Strafe and the Necro Ghost Shroud with Tornado, and all 4 of
10
these
seconds
heroes are
remaining.
very mana pool reliant.
Yeah.
If you burn it, they're just out of the fight completely.
5
I'm just
seconds
concerned that
remaining.
it's still a very weak laner. It is weak throughout the mid game, and you're susceptible to the damage of a Clink still. Like Clink's just
For sure.
he is Shelob the Spider, and these are just like little hobbits. Like he can pretty much take out anything in the duration of
Is
a
that
Fisher.
Lord of the Rings?
It is
Is that the one who wraps up Sam
Frodo
and
yeah.
Frodo? Okay,
Yeah, it's the big
yeah.
spider.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not a spider guy. Is it a tarantula or what?
It's pretty spooky.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. It's giant. I don't know if it really exists
So
anymore.
that means this is going to be Weehaw is Shelob. Or who's Shelob?
Pain
Paparazzi
Gaming's
on Clinks.
turn
Okay.
to ban.
Got it.
Shelob. Okay.
I've learned more about Lord of the Rings in the last few days with Kyle than I feel like I ever knew just watching the movies. But
you should have a conversation with Grandolph, man. He knows all.
yeah, Grandolph Master of Lore is.
Oh, hello.
Well, coming out, we have the last. I like this Earthshaker ban or the Clockwork Band because of the Earthshaker. These heroes that rely on these like cast times and positioning, like Clink's, none of their heroes can get out of cogs, and a lot of them are really messed up by the batter result.
And they need a playmaker and
Yeah.
for Tavo. And Clock in this game can hunt all 4 of the Vici heroes, to your point, and that's what the Pain needs. Like, they need something that can frontline for them, because right now there's no playmaker on their team. And that's why I think that this might be leaning towards a Quaswex Invoker for Weehaw, because they need that sort of hero. Like, you can't play a Wisp draft with nothing to pair it with aggressively.
Are they not just going to pick Pango again? I'm not saying it's a good Pango game. I'm saying that they just pick Pango because that's what they do.
I was going to say Pango or Enigma.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the two big ones.
I don't see an amazing hero,
rough.
so usually when there's not an amazing hero, you just pick Comfort Zone.
You can't play Pango in lane against Clinks. And it's the same with Enigma.
I
It
agree.
just does too much damage.
I agree. I don't see what's better.
What about an Underlord for Pain Gaming?
5 seconds
Nah.
remaining.
You need the playmaker, I think.
VG
Well, we'll
Gaming
see if they agree.
turn to
It'll be Brewmaster. And
Okay, I don't mind
he
that.
becomes a playmaker,
That-
like not very well early.
The only limitation of him being a playmaker is heroes to be able to escape his blink clap, but none of the heroes on Vici can. And you can also purge the Ghost Shroud with the Wind Panda.
Yeah.
And you can throw him up in the air, even. Like
better.
Necro's a great hero to just throw him up and ignore him. You once again, it's a
10
purge.
seconds
We talked
remaining.
about these AoE purges being very nice against the Necro and the Clinks.
5
I mean, I'm still a fan of
seconds
Quap,
remaining.
but I don't think you said you like that pick. So
No, you just need a beefy offlaner. Some sort of team fighter here.
Let's see.
Hang on. All right.
It is going to be
Choose your
the.
hero.
Looks like it will be the offlane Necro.
I wanted the lane dominator mid was what I was thinking. I thought they'd
That
go like
works.
the elusive route, but you said they'd go for this tanky route.
That works, yeah. I mean, we were both right in a way, right? It's a tanky frontliner, but they're going to play it mid on Ori. And this was the matchup. I was told he played against mid one's Viper as Huskar. And I'm thinking that's very Viper favored, but I'm told that Ori
owned. I heard about that.
shredded him. So I know for a fact that Invoker is a weaker laner than
Oh,
Viper.
yeah.
And if Ori can have the same result here, I fear that Vici might just run over this game. I'd certainly favor their draft. I think it's much easier for their 1 and 2 to deal damage and like carry this game. Tavo's going to need to have an excellent performance, and I really think Weehaw might have to go Quaswex
10 seconds
to
remaining.
to just
Exort's
get-
better against Huskar,
It is, but
but Quasweck's better against everything else.
yeah, like
5 seconds
I don't know how they're
remaining.
gonna take a fight ever. Like they're completely reliant on Brewmaster Blink split. Until that, they have no real ability to make things happen unless Duster has like this incredible game.
Yep.
What do you think about Duster potentially maxing out the Frostbite this game? I don't usually recommend it, but if they go Exort Invoker, I think you need maxed Frostbite to
Just
do
get
anything.
kills?
Yeah, to like do anything.
Well, it's
before.
1.5 seconds, level 1. You can hit a Sunstrike on that. 2 points I'll give you. You definitely don't want.
I feel like it's not a 4-1-4 game is what I would better describe as how I feel about this game, because you lack so much reach and you need the potential to kill people before Force Staffs. I feel like, once again, Force Staff, the name of the game against this Pain lineup, we've seen a lot of games where people just lack the chase. And like this Blink Clap, the Crystal Nova plus Frostbite, if you can just disengage from that initial spell usage, I feel like you can turn fights in your favor with the type of lineup VG Gaming has. But maybe they'll just choose the front line. I don't feel like their heroes. They need BKBs, but you don't want to go like first item BKB
for Pain or
for
Vici?
for VG.
Yeah, I agree, but my fear is it doesn't matter when they get BKBs, they're gonna be unkillable, and that's the thing. Like, Gyrocopter is the win condition for Pain. He gets crushed by the 1-2 combo of Vici. Like Huskar and Clinks are like go-to gyro counters. This is gonna be an incredibly difficult game for HFN to have like that game-winning performance that he had in the previous series or previous game. Rather.
I think this is going to be a 2v2 mid potentially as well. Like Crystal Maiden might start mid. I don't know. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because if Huskar gets out to a lead in mid lane, it's over. And honestly, if Huskar falls a bit behind in this mid lane, it's also heavily in favor of Invoker, because eventually you just can't tank the right clicks from. He is going Exort, and Huskar is a hero with 1 base armor, and so you get that Forge Spirit up with the minus armor.
Is there a chance it's just like 2 points in Exort and then you switch to
That's
Quaswex,
quite
or
possible,
can you do that?
Yeah.
Like a
but-
hybrid.
That's the Smash build. I actually love that style. He used to go Wex Exort, and then he would put some points in Quas later, but I really liked it. You play around, you don't go Forge Spirit, you just play for Alacrity, and you just last hit that way.
And you want to, and I mean, that was back then, but now you want to dominate your lane, right? So
it's Alacrity Sunstrike. I wouldn't mind it. The thing you got to fear is the shaker factor, where Lanheim can just show up mid with a Fisher, and if he lands a block, Invoker's just dead.
I heavily favor Vici's lineup if Huskar even comes slightly above winning mid lane. Like, if he goes better than even, I feel like this Huskar game is so free.
Yeah, they really don't have kill potential for him. Like, it's pure magical damage. They need their Invoker Gyro to be so ahead that their physical damage output threatens him, and that's going to be a tough ask.
The weird thing about Huskar as a hero is he's always farming at low health. So heroes that make his game harder in the early to mid game when he's still fragile are ones that threaten to kill him when he's just farming, and they don't have that on the side of Pain for a while. They need the blink on Brew.
I mean, Sunstrike's not bad, right?
But they need other stuff to set up the Sunstrike. So my point that I'm making is I think he'll be able to get through the initial fragile stage of Huskar before they are able to kill him.
Oh my goodness, and HFN and King RD are just getting destroyed. I believe Fenrir just stole his kill from Paparazzi, but he's like, nah, give me some boots, I'm gonna own.
And this is part of the reason Bane is a great IO counter, especially against IO Gyro. You're just so good in lane. This is not a lane Wisp Gyro can contest. But he's just...
HFN could possibly be dead?
He's dead.
Wow, Paparazzi and Fenrir are... I'm looking at my watch. 1 minute, 10 seconds in, and it's a quick 2-0.
And look at the mid lane as well. It's 6-4 to 1-0 at that.
Yeah. This is it, right? Ori, the lane dominating middle, and poor Weehaw. You look, it's 62 damage against 56, but once you get those burning spears on Weehaw, you can't do anything.
He needs levels in Quas and Wedge.
Well, see you later, IO. Get it go down again, possibly, or is HFN? They're going to turn around on Fenrir, and now King RD, he's abusing the tree line. Now Paparazzi's in a little bit of a pickle. He does not have Invis. I believe he will just get away. No rocket barrage.
Yeah, he had to remove that sleep there a lot earlier. They had a strafe up from Paparazzi, but he couldn't attack the Wisp.
I know. Bottom lane, the only lane we haven't really looked at. It looks like Radiant Vici Gaming gets the pull off, so Tavo gonna have to come over here and deal with it himself. Regen rune top. Who want? I mean, Weehaw really wants that, but Ori's gonna take it.
They know he's there. That's a great ward placed by Dire. They know the Shaker is looking to play bottom lane. They expected this Klink's top, and that allows them to see him duck into this little tree area that would usually keep him hidden. Very nicely. Very nice ward.
The lane's on Huskar's hill, and he's got an advantage. Almost a full level. It is a full level advantage on Huskar at 2.5 minutes into the game. This does not get better for Invoker. The only way this can get salvaged is a Crystal Maiden rotation at some point before it's too late.
Top lane again. There's going to be a ton of action up here. King RD, he's almost always going to be low. Obviously, he wants to be missing a little bit of HP to help out his teammate, but you got to be real careful against the Klinks.
Dude, Ori is working him middle. I don't know if this hero is just a much better laner than I expected. We see it banned constantly against TA and Ember picks, but dude, this is
working.
Because
we're talking 15-3 denies against 1-4, and I believe
you can't find Invoker on the CS list because he's actually at the bottom.
He's below the Bane. That is crazy.
I didn't even notice that, but yeah, he's behind all the supports in the game.
So, what do you do? If you're Weehaw, what do you ask your team to do? Or are you just like, I got to do my thing, I got to somehow come back? Or do you ask for a gank?
You say, Crystal Maiden, at your earliest potential convenience, please come to this mid lane and kill this guy before it's too late.
Dude, it's just...
It might already be too late.
It's looking real rough.
I would have liked to see him go 2 points Quas if he was going to go this style.
Oh, Invoker. He gets stunned up. Here comes the Sunstrike. It won't be enough. If you get that kill, possibly, but instead, Earthshaker stun comes out. HFN does get a kill top as well. But, I mean, is this... What does Huskar do? Does he just sit in this whole lane now? You're this far ahead,
Never
you just
moves.
sit here?
You just chill until you have all the items you need. And I expect Ori to just go probably like phase boots is what I've seen. He just goes for full lane domination and just sits middle and farms.
You do not move from this lane until level 10 armlet at least.
11 will get the kill, so he gets the extra regen as well, and it's going to be enough to save him. Tavo is going to die as well. He's just slowly getting melted, and Vici Game has taken an extremely large lead early into game 2.
Yeah, I will say part of what I think has made this group be so even is that while, yes, the teams are well matched, this meta is so draft and strategy focused, and it feels like certain games are just over before they start. And we feared for the laning stage of Pain Gaming, it's going better than probably Vici even expected. Like 3K gold lead at before 5 minutes. Like they're running away with this.
This
one.
is worse than I even envisioned it happening, to be honest with you. Like, I was scared for them, but this is... the fear I had for them was not this bad.
Yep, and Panda getting dove again for that bounty rune. He will get away, but losing those bounty... I mean, when you're already behind, right, you're losing bounty runes. Meanwhile, King RD, he does have the shrine. They're just going to pop it. Heal up both you.
That's just a Spain single-handedly zoning 2 heroes, though.
Yep. I mean, what movements can you make as Pain? You have to do something drastic here, right?
You need items and levels. Like, you can't just... It doesn't matter. This is the first step. They're bringing the Crystal Maiden mid.
And he does not have a freeze, unfortunately.
Doesn't matter. He would have ulted out of it.
Yeah. Because BSJ, you were talking it yourself. What does Huskar's ulti purge?
It is the equivalent of activating a BKB.
But aren't there a few different things about it?
I
think Sin said there was like 2 abilities that were different.
Yeah, there's a few things that are different. It used to mainly be Halberd. Obviously, that's no longer purgeable. But just if you're wondering what it removes, if a BKB activation removes it, then Huskar ult.
4K gold.
Oh, a kill. Sorry, missed
5K
that.
gold at 6 minutes.
Mid lane, he's dunking, killing the Crystal Maiden.
She should just, well, 2 stick charges, but should still be
You're
dead.
dead.
See ya. And look at this. Tavo has been stuck behind his not tier 1, his tier 2 tower recently. They have an ulti too. This, the early point
I mean,
will save Weehaw. It's bad, but you don't die.
It's worse.
But you
Yeah.
get
Gotta walk
Reapered.
back to base
Yeah,
with
but if
no
you got
boots.
Reapered,
Don't fear the Reaper when you're this far behind.
I mean, you're going to be dead for the same amount. A Reaper would kill you for 35 seconds at level 4.
Puts it on cooldown.
Okay. Y'all are crazy. I ain't getting Reapered if I'm Weehaw right now. That's just not happening.
Both options are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, either way, you're not in a good spot. Tavo is going to go down bottom, it looks like, and he misses. Gets the tree line.
Why didn't he Reaper him? Maybe you
Because
know
he
what?
doesn't need it.
They could just, yeah. They're actually just saving it because if they use Reaper, it's harder to kill him when he TP's back in. 6K gold, 7 minutes. I'm not gonna say that this game is over,
It's a whooping.
but this is a walloping. This is
This game is completely in the hands of VG to throw. If they play,
Wow.
they have like room for error. Like they have room for 3 errors and like big
3.
ones, like big ones.
I would say
and
they
they'll
have
still win the game.
room for like walking. It's not over.
Fnatic versus Mineski mistake. Of
My
diving
point
and
I'm trying to say is it feels like Pain no longer has control of whether or not they win this game.
Yeah,
it's,
well,
it's on VG to hand them the game back
it's
with
just-
a couple overextensions.
it's just so easy, it feels, for Vici to execute this game. Like,
Yeah.
who do you kill? The Huskar and the Necro are going to be just incredibly tanky. They scale in damage dealt and survivability for the next 10-15 minutes at least. And then the Clinks is just going to show up, and like they can't lane against him 2v1.
Well, there was an ulti committed this time by 11 to get the kill bottom on
Look
Tavo.
top. Oh my god.
It's level 6 versus 2 level 4s. Is he dead? One more attack? Oh, he's looking for it.
They
Trying to bait
literally
him.
cannot lane 2 versus 1.
That's the problem with this patch, is if you fall behind early in multiple lanes, then suddenly you're playing catch-up in every lane, and they can leave one core alone, like you're
Well,
seeing top.
paparazzi. Oh, the Sunstrike gets split. No, it didn't. It just
Easy
didn't do enough
level
damage.
6 coming
Yeah.
out on IO. Level
So-
5.5.
I mean, this is kind of what, I mean, honestly, is getting level 6 on your IO a little quicker. I mean, because you can commit somewhere else on the map and TP 2 heroes, right?
You have to have a hero that's strong enough to TP with you, though. This Gyro is level
True.
4.
Dude, look at top.
9 minutes.
I mean, bottom, pardon me. They're so far into the base, I thought this was top lane already.
And quick note on the Ori skill build, he does this every game. It's the max, the Huskar. He goes max W and 1 point Berserker Blood because it's just such a great 1 point wonder, and then maxes out his Q to just maintain sustain as he just continues to shove down waves.
Gave him a
why
nice
no
get out of
Soul
jail
Ring?
free card.
Why not? I've been seeing that a lot when you go this max inner vitality build. Isn't it really good?
He went for the wand. It's too many small items, and I think the wand is better against Invoker because you're eventually going to have that mana battle that he had mid, and he would have died with a Soul Ring, but he managed to, like the first time Weehaw Sunstrike cold snapped him, he lived with like 150 health, and that's just the difference is he knows that you only go one small item, and he went for the one instead of the Soul Ring because he understands the specific matchup.
It's also, a Soul Ring is more of a, I don't want to say it's a catch-up item, but it's more if you're playing like a real even game of Dota. It's just a nice item, whereas in this game, he's so far ahead, you don't need those cheap build-up items. You can just get an armlet and phase boots. And
what do we got? Bane, he spots one out. He can't do it. They're just taking towers. Looks like tier 1 just gonna die to Ori. Bottom lane, Paparazzi rotating. He got a kill on Crystal Main, gets a kill. And it looks like Pain, they don't care about towers. They're like, let's get a couple bounty runes. And by a couple, I mean one. The Reaper's Scythe goes down and kills Invoker middle. Pardon me, I missed that one.
He's going Blink Dagon on 11.
This is a pub stompy build.
Yeah.
But you're that far ahead. You're 10k up at 10 minutes, and this is a k a minute.
Io does have level 6.
But as you said, he has no one to TP with, right? Like, hey, I can TP you in. Level 4 Gyro.
Yeah,
Gyro's almost level 5. That will be like a 50% increase on his Rocket Barrage damage. And they are smoked up bottom, so they look like they still want to make a rotation with this Brewmaster ult. You eventually have to decide to do something, and this is probably their best opportunity. They have a Sentry for the Clinks.
Just 80 creep, though.
And here we go. They're going to go. Yeah, Paparazzi gets a lot more HP. We do see the split. You got to get more than just Lan M, though, I believe. And they will only get Lan M. Looks like they want to just run after Fenrir.
Bane.
Can they find him? Yeah, they might. He sleeps at the one giving him vision. He's trying to run HFN, though. Level 3 Rocket Barrage, like we talked about, that should be a kill. Tavo says, nah, I'm taking that. But now, Paparazzi's stalking, and oh my goodness, you're dead. Real
Can I just
quick.
point out they got
You
less
can.
than 200 gold per support kill there when they're down by 11k.
And now HFN, oh my goodness. That Rocket will do a decent job of taking him out, but Tavo, he's just going to try to TP, and he misses. There's 1, 2, 3 misses in a row. Huskar misses the kill because of that. And wow. I mean, still 11k. They're keeping it up, right? It's about to be 12k at 12 minutes in.
This is an impressive performance, and this demonstrates the importance of drafting.
Where in the draft do you think, is it just that second pick into the Io Gyro that just countered
I
him?
think picking Io Gyro into the Bane Necro first two is always rough, and the Clinks pick is perfect after the Shaker. Like, they have such a great draft at that point, and the follow-up from Pain, like, Invoker is not a good hero against Clinks, and when you lane Brew against Necro, he doesn't really get far enough ahead to have the impact you're looking into, especially when you consider he's the only real playmaker for Pain. And he's a full 2,000 gold away from a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I mean, if it's obvious enough for Kyle to see that it's a really good pick, there's some holes in your draft.
Yeah, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
It was
the
like,
Clinks. You're just
it was
like,
beautiful.
this is beer's like, oh, there it is. And there it picks it.
And that it's just like the style. There's a reason Weaver's getting first pick and then first ban. Holy shit.
And now Paparazzi, he's going to him, but the Sunstrike will come out, and that gives HFN so much golden experience.
How does he only get 182 each?
It does feel...
That should be like 700 gold at least, right?
Welcome to Dota. If you want to win, kill the creeps.
Nope. And now HFN does get a ton of experience. So Crystal Main is just dying middle. 11 jumps and gets the kill. And 13,000 before the 13-minute mark. Oh, do you just take Roche and 5-man down a lane if you're a Vici Gaming soon? Or because they have a Roche taking team with that Huskar.
Huskar first objective is definitely going to be Roche. I don't think you're in any rush, though.
This is nice for HFN, though. He's going to get a nice, I believe, quadruple stack plus another one over there.
Almost caught up to the 4-position Shaker.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Who has a
BSJ.
blink at 13 minutes. You do.
And these Invis heroes, plus we saw, was it, I think, Nyx Furion the other day.
Yeah.
We see Weaver all the time. We see Clinks. Like, when you combine that initial long-range lockdown or an invis stun with another hero that can apply like massive amounts of burst damage and scale, like Clinks just has a free game, and I just think this hero does too much damage. If you look at the numbers on the strafe, like there's a reason people have started maxing this skill before Windwalk. Like 210 attack speed, and you're juking projectiles. The cooldown, of course, in the patch changed from a max of 25 to 15 when you maxed out. It's so good.
Oh, and look at this. They want to push this tier 1. Can they, though? Landham gets a nice double stun. Oh, my goodness. See you later. Io instantly dead. Duster, not quite dead, but HFN is, and now Duster probably going to be the next to go. They do throw the Necro into the air, which is nice, but it's not going to be nice enough. When you're down 14,000 gold at 14 minutes, you have to have everything go right for you, and right now, it is not going right for them. Weeha's in the jungle. He's level 8. You look at the levels right now. Necro's 13, and Invoker is level 8.
Yep. I honestly did not. I should have seen this Huskar last pick coming, I didn't realize how good this hero was at crushing lanes. But if this is the result you can expect, I think this is a hero we'll see much more as this tournament progresses.
What about the phase boots on Huskar? You like that? I mean, it's owning right now, but is that like, is it good? Instead of treads or even just brown boots?
The hero's only limitation is his ability to walk around the map.
Yeah.
So the phase boots are nice, not only for that, but also because you have an innate attack speed buff, so it synergizes well for the damage.
Yep.
Like, you used to go treads for the tread swapping, and now you just don't need it, basically.
And you don't need the health, you don't need the attack speed, and that's the main thing treads give you. So you can argue for the oh,
well,
wow.
here we go. Oh, he does miss the stun up on King RD. Can they bring him down? They still do. Almost to save their Fenrir is like, I'm going to find someone else. Can't quite. And, well, they get HFN. And if you lock down Weeaw's a great middle player, but if you lock down HFN, I mean, he's almost always Pain's win condition, and they're doing a good job at that.
Yeah, this is a game where you look at the heroes on VG's lineup, and as Kyle mentioned, it's not hard for them to play with an advantage. These heroes, they don't have some mechanical way to throw the game. They're just going to walk down lanes, take objectives. Necro's already pushing top. He even has a Blink Dagon, and you still can't kill him. Like, it's not like this guy's itemizing to be unkillable. He's just unkillable anyway.
Yep.
And that's just...
you just follow the script at this point. Like, you're just so far ahead.
He's setting up on bottom. On Necro, he's going to kill the Brewmaster with Dagon.
He can just keep chasing after Weeaw. Weeaw can ghost walk in about 2 seconds here. But here we go. They're going to try to turn, Can they get 11? He goes to strength treads. The Meteor will do a decent chunk of damage here. Rocket will get vision, and they get him, top lane. It's going to get pushed in, but...
Bane's setting up on the relocate mid as well.
Oh my goodness, they're going straight in. It looks going to be a buyback from Tavo into the base. Sunstrike will miss. Fenrir is just going to get right-clicked down, and a little greedy there, but you do force Panda to buy back, and, well, his blink real far away at 17 minutes.
Just, again, I've repeated this once per day, most likely, but the net worth differential was changed to reward you with bonus gold based on the net worth of the hero you kill compared to your own. It has nothing to do with teams' valuations anymore. So yeah, Fenrir's in the base and he feeds, and it's a little strange, but he's 9th in net worth, 213 gold.
Nothing.
Drop in the bucket.
That's 1 creep wave, right? Maybe less than a creep wave.
Yeah,
What level is he? Yeah, it's less than a creep wave at this point. Because at 15 minutes, an extra creep starts spawning.
Yeah, that's just crazy. They do go the jumps on Gyro this game. Maybe try to get a little early game pressure, and they are sticking together. But a line is being drawn. Paparazzi going to scout something out, but there's a sentry. We'll have to be a little careful. Or he's going to run in, but he won't care. He's just going to leap through. Can they just get the killer? He might need one more. Won't be enough, because he will be saved, luckily, by King RD.
That's 8 stacks.
Not even close.
And now they're just going to push uphill. As you saw, they already took the Aegis cold snap. It was used on someone I actually didn't even see.
It was on the Huskar, but he like evaded a bunch of tower shots with the halberd.
The thing is, if they don't even need to push, to be honest. If they just get a BKB on Huskar and Clinks, there's literally nothing Pain's heroes can do. And that's something I didn't recognize till just now, but a complete lack of BKB piercing disable or damage on Pain's lineup.
Look at this damn GD Queen. He's actually going to leap over. They get the stun. Ori, you're in a little bit of a pickle. He does have the Aegis. A nice call in from HFN, zoning them all out, but it's not really going to do any damage. It's zoning. Same with Tavo. See you later, King RD. Instantly Dagon Reaper. Now HFN, he is getting handled. There's no one to save you this time, big guy. He's going to go down. A throw up in the air on Ori in the backline. Duster, it's about the best ult you can hope for from a level 7 Queen of Pain right here. That is going to be a tier 3 tower. Will get slowed down by Tavo with the bruise. And, well, your Rax is going down at 18 minutes here, and you used all your ultis to only lose a fight 3-0, and it's a good game called. Wow, an absolute, I'll say it was a massacre, an absolute massacre.
It was a shellacking.
Yeah.
Like a painful game to watch.
And it was 25-8 in the score, right? But I would say this was far worse than like the 27-0 of some of like the Liquid EG games. This 25-8 was far worse. It was bad.
Yeah, this is the most one-sided game I've seen in like a year or so, if not more. Like that was, I think the game was over at 3 minutes. And
3 minutes. What about draft?
I was gonna say maybe even earlier.
Yeah.
And
like,
why is that? Was it just the middle lane or the combination?
The matchups, and then you started to get like you lost. You died twice top in like
Yeah.
the first minute and a half.
Yeah.
You were already down a level at 2 minutes in the mid lane, and you're necro bottom. So he's gonna win.
You're not only losing all your lanes, you're losing all your lanes with no roaming potential whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no comeback potential.
There's no one that can actually impact a lane or say, like, we've talked a lot about how, you know, some mid player, he's losing mid, he's level 4, level 5, and he'll rotate, he'll make things happen.
Yeah.
You know, he'll get active, but Gyro is interesting, but Pain have already revealed that they're willing to play Wisp. You can't expect a team like Vici Gaming. They come here with one of the most well-known coaches in Dota, Mikasa.
Yep.
They are very experienced players. Lanham, a veteran of multiple TIs. They're ready for you, and you can't try and hit them with this basic bread and butter and expect to surprise them.
Yeah, but some white bread and just straight butter instead of some garlic fries and some well, what is
Aioli,
it?
yeah.
Aioli. Okay, I
That
was
stuff's
right.
good.
That
That's
is
true.
good. So before we wrap this up, what are your thoughts on just? I mean, it was a 1-1 series, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like Pain got. I mean, they got destroyed that game, but they still come out with a win. They move out of last place. What would be your advice here? BSJ, you give your advice to Pain Gaming. Then Kyle, you give your advice to Vici. BSJ, what do you give to him?
Don't think too much about this game. Even the best of teams in the world, we saw Liquid get like 30-0
Yep.
by Pain or by Fnatic, and you just get out drafted sometimes. And there's nothing you really could have done past the drafting stage, other than numerical. And so don't let this affect your confidence in what you guys can do. And just in the first game, just clean up your decision making as a team.
Okay.
Just think about make sure we're all on the same page. A lot of that's communication.
Makes sense. So Kyle, hit us with the Vici Gaming. They did lose game 1, but they look good here. Do you just say play more like this, or what do you say?
I felt like their last pick in this game was a hell of a lot more effective than the Pangolier.
Yeah.
I think that if you're going to last pick for a player, it should definitely be Ori's hero or Paparazzi's hero, not 11's. I think that this is the first time I've seen 11 play Necro, and I think this is the sort of thing I'd like to see them do more. Just give him this Necro off lane. Let Ori get on this lane-dominating hero to carry you through, because he is on form. And I would say that they looked by far the better team just based on the way this game played out, but also that first game. They made some really silly mistakes that I think cost them, and Weeha just essentially won it by himself once he hit level 25. They both need to turn up, because realistically, neither one of these teams is going to compete for that first place prize that we all want if they don't step it up.
Yep. So, but if Vici plays like they did this game, hey,
Yeah, true.
you never know.
Just
Exactly.
outdraft your opponents and
Yep.
Just
the best.
win.
Walk
lol.
over 'em.
Just win Dota. So that will be the end of this 2-game series. Vici Gaming 1-1 against Pain Gaming. They both move out of that 3-win category up to 4 wins, which they needed. And, well, Vici Gaming wasn't there. Vici Gaming moved up to 5, I believe, which is good for them. They're fighting for that upper bracket spot. But we are going to take a quick break. And on this stream, when we get back, there will be more Dota, so stick around, and we'll see you soon.